Hey everybody, what's going on? This is my Solar 3.0 Warlock build for basically infinite damage resistance, or infinite lives, or whatever you want to call it. This basically makes you unkillable is what I'm trying to get at. It's basically like God mode. So, let me run you through it, piece by piece, and yeah. So, first things first is that, of course, this is Solar 3.0, so I'm going to be running Dawnblade, of course, and I'm going to be using 12 gradients over the actual Dawnblade Super. Mainly because, extra damage is always nice when soloing things. I'm going to be using Empowering Rift, and that is because I'm using Class C Restoration. So Class C Restoration enables restoration on the use of any solar class ability, so you can empower yourself and get a nice little healing buff started from it as well, which actually ties into the exotic Starfire protocol, which I'll get to in a second. Your glide, of course, doesn't matter. I'm using Incinerator Snap for the scorching of targets, and I'm using Fusion Grenades because, again, Starfire protocol. For my aspects, I am using both Touch of Flame and Icarus Dash. This Icarus Dash will probably switch over to Heat Rises sooner or later, given the soon-to-be buff to it. So, we'll see. But for now, Icarus Dash and Touch of Flame, mainly because Icarus Dash allows you to get out of dodge very, very quickly. For fragments, you're going to want Ember of Empyrean. This allows your solar weapon or ability final blows to extend the duration of restoration and radiant effects applied to you, which is what makes this build so strong. I then have Scorched Targets grants melee energy. This is really just so I can get a nice little bump to my recovery there. Defeating targets with solar ignitions generates an orb of power. This is to just bump the resilience, but it is nice as the detonations from the solar grenades with Touch of Flame will proc this more often than not. And then I'm using Ember of Solace. Radiant and restoration effects applied to you have increased duration. This is because on base, restoration has, I believe, like a 5 or 6 second timer, whereas this gives it a 10-second timer, so you have longer to get it back up and refresh it using the solar final blows. For weapons, it really comes down to preference. You can throw an exotic here like Vex or Teraba or anything of the sort that is just solar, but you want a solar primary in this slot mainly because that's what's going to help you extend those durations. So all these weapons are up to you, but of course you really want a solar primary in this slot so you can take advantage of Ember of Empyrean. Like I said, this also focuses around the Starfire Protocol exotic. This is because Starfire Protocol gives you 2 Fusion Grenades, and Fusion Grenade kills a Grant Rift energy, and you recharge your grenade energy from empowered weapon damage. Now, unfortunately, Radiant does not count as empowered weapon damage. That is why I'm not applying the Radiant melee, because it doesn't really matter too much. This is more about survivability than doing a lot of damage, because once damage phase comes, you'll just plop the well down, boom, there's your damage. But this allows you to essentially just get your grenades back ad infinitum. The way I do it is that I will toss a grenade at an enemy and put my rift down right as I'm able to toss it, or right as I'm able to do after tossing the grenade. Once I do that, my rift will come back, I'll have restoration applied, and then I can just start killing things left and right, get my grenade back, get the restoration back up, and keep going. Of course, you probably want something in this slot that is a lot of damage. Borrowed Time really isn't that because it has a very low magazine size, and until Rampage is active, doesn't really do a lot of damage. So if you have yourself a good Callus mini tool, that would be perfect for this, or anything else that is high rate of fire, so you can clear ads quickly. For mods, it is really up to you. However, what I have found to be best is to have at least 2 Well of Ordnances active. Well of Ordnance allows you to get more grenade energy when you're picking up solar wells, and we're creating solar wells so we can get all our abilities back quicker, and so we can proc Elemental Charge so that we can proc Lucent Blade. Now, of course, you could just do the regular Charge with Light, throw on Harmonic Siphon or Solar Siphon or whatever, and use that. But I prefer this way because it is more based on getting your regen back, and if you are fully charged with super, Charge with Light doesn't work by getting more orbs anymore, unfortunately, for whatever reason. So I feel like using Elemental Wells in this situation is best. When it comes to the rest of your mods, honestly, you just want Classy Restoration is the big thing here. If you don't have Classy Restoration, this is really going to be difficult, as giving yourself Restoration outside of that is a bit difficult, especially if you're using this for the Starfire Protocol double fusions. So, yeah. And finally, you just want to bump up your Resilience all the way. As you can see, this is Masterwork, so this will be 100 once it's done. So, essentially it just makes you unkillable, and it's very simple. So, bottom line, the big things are Classy Restoration, Ember of Empyrean, and having Starfire Protocol, and having a Solar Primary. Everything else is interchangeable to your liking, but those are the main 4 points. I hope this video helped, and I hope you too become an unkillable god in Destiny 2 Season of the Haunted. I'll see you later.